And they're over behind these silver,
Oh yeah, you guys got them on the side there.
so we're gonna you know, carry those over all together. That'll be a good little team building challenge. But basically, yeah, these, you know, more rounded Roman arches, you can see this form basically, well, you can talk
Yeah,
about
so one thing that's cool about these forms, guys, is that you can reuse them. You see how they're on stilts? So the reason we have hinges in the middle is we can pop these stilts out and it drops like 3 inches and then it folds, so then you can just pull the form out, but then you can reuse it for like multiple buildings and structures, you know? So they'll just store this, and then if they have to build something else, they can do it. You can also put them like, build one arch and then put it right next to it and then build another one, like if you wanted a house that looked like a Roman arch, you know?
like a long tunnel,
So
kind of.
it's just like a really fast, easy way to build and like to utilize these in a cheap way.
Yeah, and we'll show you, you know, we're not going to be making these, but a team, when we, maybe at lunch, the table that we, over there, that we use to bend these, this is just basic, you know, electrical conduit that you normally run wire through. And there's a bender, and it's a little bit of a you know, expertise to get the right combination of bends to get this consistent with all these, and then, you know, attaching the different sections, the straight section to the curved section. But all that,
I can explain it a little bit.
Yeah,
So you guys
yeah.
see, this is called a Roman arch. That's compared to a cathedral arch or a Gothic arch, where it comes to a point, you know? So with this, the measurement is right in the center. So from this center would be the center point with a string. So we can use a string to make that equal edge. So I'll draw that on a big table, and that'll be the stencil to try to bend it perfectly to that line. And then every metal piece will be the same, essentially. If we wanted a Gothic arch, like a cathedral arch, you would put your string like on this side, and then run that to a point, you know, so it's not a perfect circle, it's just arched more. But
That's part of what we're going to be working on.
That's the Eden arch, yeah, that's the big arch. It's a cathedral arch, yeah, or Gothic arch. So, yeah, and you'll be able to see the table too, where we did the drawings and stuff.
The Eden Arch is already done?
I already did all the metal,
Yeah.
I built all these already with custom. I was here. Yeah, we did it in like 4 or 5 days. So.
yeah, this is something that, like I said, is fairly straightforward, but, you know, something that takes a little skill and intuition. It's hard to just give a like 100% recipe. You'll see with the numbers and the table and stuff. So I think, you know, the benefit of having a team, and, you know, part of why we wanted him to do this is then we can reuse these. So, you know, I think, you know, you're potentially available for people that, you know, might want that if you're going to do your own project.
Yeah, essentially I can come and get you started, because this is kind of the harder part. But as soon as you start building and all the forms are in place, the foundation's done, the compass arm, this is a compass arm in the middle that does our measuring. After that's set, anybody can stack bricks. It's really do-it-yourself, like simple way of building your own home. So yeah, like these guys, I'm just training them and a few other people, but then they got it. They can build the rest of their buildings.
Yeah, like I've done a lot of conventional carpentry and construction, or a fair amount. But the neat thing with this is, once you get the basic setup, you know, it's pretty much, you can see and tell. Like our early bricks were a little soft, a little crumbly, and maybe George, where's George? Maybe George and Jason, if you want to speak to this, because I've been really impressed. Jason had, I don't know, no particular experience with cement, or
No, I don't know.
so he just loves building, and I don't know, you've done some building.
Build a chicken coop.
Okay, he built. Yeah. He's a great learner and stuff. And George, of course, has a lifetime of experience in his family business. But, you know, talk a little bit about how we kind of improved our bricks from the early ones, you know, to now, where we're getting these really nice, not too heavy, not too light, not too crumbly, not too hard. I mean, they're just. Talk a little bit about.
Yeah, so I think it was just mainly just from Aircrete, because when we started using Dawn,
Yeah.
the bricks started getting stronger. Like these are still Aircrete, but we use less foam.
Yeah.
So more cement, less foam. And on these bricks, we just started using Dawn, and I mean that's why they're much stronger.
What's
I mean,
Dawn?
Soap.
Dawn soap.
Oh.
You can
Dawn
use
soap,
any
yeah.
dish
Oh, wow.
soap.
Yeah,
I
mean,
I was wondering what the foam was. It's literally the foam of soap.
Dish soap, yeah, exactly.
Wow.
But Aircrete is like a commercial synthetic kind of like foam agent, and apparently it was supposed to work really great, but I mean they were just really crumbly.
Now they're real.
Yeah.
Yeah, really porous. So the reason this is a sustainable material is you're increasing the volume 9 times. So something that would take 27 pallets of cement, you can do in 3 pallets of cement. Because you're expanding it so much, and it only weighs like 15% of a brick the same size.
And then what
So
about
super
the
light,
insulating value?
and it's crazy insulating. It's like R2 or something. It's really good. So yeah, so like a 6-inch brick is like 12 or something like that R value. I forget the exact ratios, but it's really good. I mean, it's filled with air the whole way, so it's not thermal mass. That's different to where like Adobe is all earth and it holds heat. It'll hold heat in, like store it, like a battery kind of, and then off heat it like at night. With this, it's insulation, so it doesn't allow it to penetrate at all, but it doesn't hold the heat. It'll actually dissipate rather than hold. If that makes sense.
These are good for like a nuclear fallout, like because it
Yeah.
keeps the radiation out and it keeps the
Totally.
radiation in. So.
Yeah, I'm sure other hippies. I'm sure other
Keeps
hippies will put copper in it.
irradiation
Yeah,
in, you
it keeps
said?
radiation. Cement keeps radiation out. So when they build bunkers, they build them out of concrete.
Totally.
So yeah.
Hippies can like put crystals in it, and,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
copper, like anything you want. You know?
Well, it's very friendly to, you can cut this with a handsaw, as you'll
Yeah.
see. And
And it's light, you know. So you can stack
it's
it.
really light.
So
Right.
and
So
Well, it falls on your
that'll
hand,
make it
you'll be
easier
alright.
to
Right.
make it round at the top. You can just like
yeah,
cut it.
we shave away at it to make it round, and then you know what I mean. We shave away at it as we go.
Yeah,
it's almost
that's
tempting
cool.
to do a little dome, little cupola on top, but that's
Right.
probably.
So there's other forms of this you can add to it. Also, some people put styrofoam like as a waste product to expand your cement to make it even cheaper. Some people put perlite as another lightweight concrete to make it stronger, but still light.
Does that have another
So-
name? Not Aircrete?
Pearlcrete probably.
Pearlcrete something?
Yeah. There's lavacrete, which they'll put like black cinder, like lava stone, in a mix, and that's also like lightweight concrete.
You can also make Adobe-crete, so you can just mix dirt with cement, and the cement stabilizes the dirt, and I think that's what we're going to use for our Adobe floor. Just throw a little bit of cement in there just to stabilize it, kill off all the germs, because cement's like antibiotic almost. Like,
To make Adobe what?
throw a seed in there, it's just going to turn into a rock. Yeah.
What are you gonna make
And
with
water
that?
it.
Like the floor. would
The
be
floor.
in-
We're gonna
floor.
we're gonna use
Earthen
dirt
floor.
and cement, to make a
It'll seal
floor.
it better
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
And also, if you think about, I don't know if the team said this earlier, but it's kind of like the surfboard idea of, the stucco. We can walk outside and see the stucco layer, but you have these 2 stucco layers with mesh. You see this white mesh. It really kind of gives it the hard seal, and then the soft inside. So it's really strong. And of course, the dome structure with wind, or it's not going to get mold. It's not going to have insects
Not
eating
gonna
into
burn
it.
down.
What?
Not gonna burn down.
It won't burn. So fire is a big concern out here.
Yeah. For the last
So-
centuries. Yeah. It's
What's
really
in
been
the
a lot.
stucco?
What's that?
What's in the stucco?
Sand and cement.
It's yeah.
Mixture.
And are you going to put more layers of stucco or also?
Yeah,
the
George
geofabric?
is, fortunately we have, George who's a
uses
real
stucco.
expert on this. And what was the special thing you were going to talk about exploring? It was a limecrete or something?
Oh yeah, lime. So for
Lime
as a
plastic.
base coat, we're just gonna use cement and sand and water and the mesh. But as a top coat to smooth it out, we're gonna use silica sand, which is a fine sand, cement and lime, and then you got to mix it to exact proportions. Because if you add too lime, it'll crack if you put it on too thick. So you need just a little bit of lime So lime helps with cracking if you add just a little bit.
Do you
And,
think you could run that through a spray gun because the
Yeah,
sand's
yeah.
finer?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can run it.
Because
through
that would be a
offer.
lot easier to do the top.
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
spray it on
Yeah, you
and
can
then
spray
put
on
your
it
mesh.
and then like flatten it out instead of troweling it on. Yeah, spraying is an
Kind of
option.
like knockdown on a.
Yeah, like on
Yeah.
drywall. Yeah, like knockdown texture.
Same.
Yeah.
But then you could still hit it one more time with the trowel.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that the
That's
stucco?
definitely not-
Is that
and it's a
what
lot
they use
easier
on the
too.
Yeah,
outsides?
I want to do it that method
Yeah.
because it's a pain to.
Is that what they use on the outsides of the dome guy ones in the tropics, or
I don't know if dome guys.
Doing what?
the stucco? Like,
and
what
mesh.
are they? Is that what they're coating the outsides, and it doesn't leak? Like,
If they're in tropical, it leaks. And
Yeah.
it'll cause bubbles. So what they're doing now is doing this thing called what's that weed guard? Geotextile. Geofabric or geotextile fabric. It's the really thin stuff they use for landscaping. It's like a cloth or
Like
a felt.
weed barrier.
It's a weed barrier, but it's more like even roofing felt is really similar, but it's finer. And then what they're doing now is just dipping that in like a trash can full of a cement slurry, like a little thinner, soaking it, and then putting that, just flapping it on the wall and like rubbing it in.
I've seen that. Yeah.
And that's like much finer, so water can't penetrate that, and it's stronger. And then do one more stucco layer on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they're getting rid of the cracks for one, and to prevent it from leaking in tropical places particularly.
A good paint for waterproofing would be like elastomeric. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So elastomeric. So
Rubberized.
say if you see a crack, elastomeric is thick enough to like flood the crack, and like just give it a couple of coats and the crack will go away if you use elastomeric.
That's probably fine for desert, yeah.
Yeah.
PVC?
Desert, yeah.
It won't here because they don't get enough rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're doing 2 layers of fabric. Dome guys sometimes will just do 1 layer and then stucco and that's it. But they're going to do 2 layers and then finish
Extra
coat.
strong.
So it'll be stronger, it'll crack less, and it should be a little bit more waterproof.
Yeah.
And it helps smooth out. Like maybe we can go outside, and if George, you want to talk a little about stucco,
Oh yeah.
and
Here.
show them the different finishes and.
Yeah. So here's an example of how the outside we're gonna do like a sand finish. The reason we wanted like a sandy surface is so say if we have to get on top of the arch or the roof, we got an abrasive substrate, for the grip for our feet to grip onto. So this is kind of, if you run your hand across this, it's like pretty rough. So this is kind of like what the house, what this dome is gonna turn out to be, but it's gonna be a more fine and even sand. This is just mortar sand finish, but the actual sand finish will be much finer than this, and it'll look nicer. But I mean, this still looks nice as it is. I mean, don't get me wrong, but on the inside we're gonna do like a smooth to the touch, kind of like concrete.
Plaster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
Oh, you are doing a smooth coat?
yeah, we're doing smooth on the inside. Yeah.
On the inside.
On the inside, yeah.
Gotcha.
On the outside, we're doing a sand finish just to make it, more abrasive.
And how about for electricity? Are you guys going to be putting electricity in here?
No, I think it's just gonna part of our vision here is just people unplugging from all the devices, and people that are real sensitive to all that, the earth floor. So we're probably just gonna have like the solar battery jackery where you can charge your phone, have some lights, run a toaster or a blender or some basic things, but it's not. You don't have this omnipresent thing of just electric current running, and so on. Same with the plumbing, just really kind of basic, so that we also kind of reminds us like there's no away. Like one of my ecology teachers was like, there's no way. We think of like throw things away or our poop, our trash, all this stuff, and it's just, as we all know, it's kind of gotten to this point where
Oh, we'll find a way.
yeah. Yeah, or,
Closed loop systems, yeah.
So in a way, it kind of, hopefully it'll help us, people can come and kind of just get back to the really basics of nature and spend more time outside too. Part of having this be a smaller footprint, have them kind of tucked in and around in relation to the land and not just put on a, plat or something, is to allow us to kind of reconnect to our circadian rhythms, to all, our biology, and just hopefully the shelter has some wow factor and draw, and these workshops of like empowering yourself to build it and to do it, but then ideally you want to spend time outside, and it'll be invigorating. The blue zones, if you're familiar with this research of people around the planet and communities that live longest, healthiest, happiest lives. And a lot of it is just simplicity of, having purpose, walking around a lot, having
Eating
a more
healthy fats.
plant-based diet. Just things that are kind of no-brainers almost, but it's hard now, as we all know, to have that kind of, some of those things are a higher value, you can't put a price on it. And so, those of us that are like, we want to have that, we want to build that, or help people build that. you can kind of experience the value of it. Hopefully, like, you know, come for a weekend or a week or longer and really go, okay, I can see the benefits, not just some hype or some, you know, kind of thing, but this is hopefully we're a better set point for how we can move forward living together and healthier and happier and stuff.
So I came along a few minutes late because I was brushing my teeth. Did you already talk about what we're going to be working on?
No, we're just touring right now.
Yeah, we're kind of getting the overview.
Yeah. You want to show them the bathroom?
Yeah, so this is kind of ground zero. For those of you that may have some construction background or not, you know, you have a footer. This is called a footer, and the whole you know, basis of having a strong foundation is if you don't dig below the frost line or, you know, a certain depth, we did like about 2 feet here, then as the land heaves, it heaves this and it can crack. So, you know, it's a lot of work. We had jackhammers we rented from Home Depot. Jason and George did an amazing job. This is very hard ground. There's a lot of rock and the clay, you know, it's like a brick. You can you know, grab a chunk of this, and sometimes you can't tell the difference between the clay and the rock. You know, you bang it together, and this stuff is just, it gets on your tires, you'll see, and it's just like you have to chisel it off. We have some other parts of the property you'll see at the arch. The ground's a lot softer. It was a lot easier to dig. So depending on, you know, what your climate is, the depth is going to be a little different. And then we put rebar. We put some, you know, plywood generally to create like a nice form. And the circle is a challenge, you know, to bend the plywood and the rebar and everything to make it solid. But you can see, you know, a little glimpse here, you know, down here. This is what's supporting all that weight, because the dome tends to, you know, push it out, and we want to have a really solid footer. You can see it's right here for our lintel and stuff. And then with the slabs, you know, you would fill in, like at the Eden Arch, you'll see this is just filled in about 4 inches of slab. That'll be your...
Is the thing where you put the compass is set in concrete also, or?
Say again?
Okay.
The thing where you put the compass?
Yeah, so this will be temporarily,
Yeah,
you
we're
know,
going to take these
put in
off.
place here.
Because we only need 2 on each.
And it took a lot of figuring, you know, based on how high up, like I said, we have
Maybe 3.
a couple of feet of just straight wall before the arch starts, so you want to be able to adjust this and figure your... And a team will go into this in more detail, but, you know, that way you can always make sure you're on level and you have a nice curve and everything.
It's a real bit.
So you just bury it in dirt, or what do you
I
do?
like making my own ladder.
Yeah,
where it
we'll
goes
fill
up
this with
way, and
cement.
then I turn
With
that
cement.
piece
And then when you're
extends
done, you
this
just
way.
break it out.
Okay.
And it'll be, you know, it'll be a little bit irregular, you know, sometimes, and then the stucco, especially when you have a good stucco, it'll smooth it out, even it out, and kind of make the form look a little more
So this tool
smooth.
that I have here, it's meant to, so I call it a curved edge. And when you put the stucco on, this will make the dome like perfect. Like if you can see, you can just drag this across. It even works this way too.
That's so massive.
So I mean, this will flatten everything out and make it like a perfect circle.
You just made, this is like your own
We bent it, yeah.
It looks like a weapon. Like
we fashioned it together.
You
So
need to
I mean,
call
I'm keeping this for the rest of my life.
Give it
Yeah.
a name like Excalibur.
So like the tubing can actually smooth the stucco like that?
Yeah, because it's smooth.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just got to grind off these little like boogers right here, but yeah, this will smooth it out, and you just leave it. So once you pass this, you leave it, and then you come back and float it later. You bring out the sand.
So do you have to have a curved float?
No, you just use a regular sponge float.
How about for the inside?
Yeah, sponge float, same thing.
Okay.
George likes to take it to another, you know, level, because he's done it with the traditional stuff, and then he gets these like
His idea.
inspirations where it's like, I could do this better, bigger, smarter, funner, you know.
Yeah,
And,
it's awesome.
and so it's been really fun watching him and Jason, like the excitement they get when they get like a better batch of, you know, mix on it, because it just looks like this gray stuff, and you're kind of like, all right, and then, but when you feel it, and you guys will see when you start working with the bricks, the blocks, a good block you can cut and doesn't crumble and chip too much, not too heavy, and just solid. It's like a really good feeling. Same with the mortar, the stucco. You're gonna have a whole level of appreciation for concrete that is relatively new to me. Haven't done more carpentry and stuff, painting.
Did you guys experiment with other than those two foaming agents, or just those?
Yeah,
those
pretty
two.
much. We had started off with a Aircrete, thinking it might be better, and we kind of felt like it wasn't, so we went back to Dawn, which is kind of their.
Okay.
Cheaper.
And it's also easier to find. You go to the Dollar General and you just.
Yeah.
Or
I
Home
got this
Depot.
agent. It's called Drexel, but I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. Yeah. Foaming agent.
Yeah, like the Ajax didn't work. I don't know enough of the chemistry of all this stuff to really speak on it, but generally, for whatever reason, Dawn seems to be the best kind of go-to, easily accessible go-to. And I don't know if you want to walk over to the foamers and look at all that.
Sure.
Or...
Yeah, we could show everybody the
Have you
tools.
heard of using guar gum, I think it is?
Oh, I've heard of that, instead of the foaming agent.
Yeah,
I just saw that recently. It's a lot stronger, but I think the Gargum would get pricey.
Pricey, is that what you said?
I think it would get pricey. I would think for the amount you'd have to use.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But I've heard it's strong.
I just literally, like you, probably 3 weeks ago was the first time I
Same.
heard of it.
Yeah, same.
It looked like
Yeah, just keep an eye out. I mean,
I'm
it'll.
just like
it's
really
not a
curious
source of
about that you'd have to use and do the math.
yeah.
It's good for people who don't want to use a foam generator.
Yeah.
But
Come
to
over
me,
here
this
into
is so easy and cheap.
Are they still curing?
They're real hot. You can see these blocks that were poured yesterday.
They're sleeping better than I am, man.
We'll probably still need to make bricks every day.
Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah,
get to
it's
do this.
exothermic
It's a lot of fun. It is a little challenge.
Exothermic release.
George or Tina,
Chemical
do you want to
reaction.
speak on just the overview of what the equipment is?
Sure.
Kind of give a little intro.
Yeah. So this is the soapy water. This is just a ratio of it's like 16 ounces per 5 gallon bucket. So you guys will make this later.
Of Dawn.
Yeah,
Water
Dawn
and dish
stuff.
soap, yeah.
So yeah, it's just soapy water filled up, and it runs through this machine. This is their foam generator from Dome Gaia. They call it the Dragon, so I'll call it the Dragon sometimes. But the water goes in here, and then it just connects with the air hose. So there's a water pump in here that's pumping the water, and then it meets with this air. Off and on, see? And then out of that, it goes through this wand here. They call it the wand. And all this is packed Brillo pad, from scrubbing your dishes.
Yeah.
It's just really tight in there.
Steel wool.
And then it's kind of like steel wool, yeah. It's not quite like steel wool though, but it's similar. It's more of a poly or a plastic material. But it goes through there, and that's what kind of coagulates it or makes it foamy.
Well, I have one of those, and this thing is coming out. It's
Yeah.
a metal thing, right?
Is it metal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got the air pressure, you got the foam mixture,
Yeah.
and then you got your your big mixer here.
Yeah. Here's the wand. See this? And then it
Yeah, get a little water. Yeah, so there's the foam. So if you want to shave, you want to come out.
Crazy.
super fun.
Hey, there's a super profit.
So this is that wand, same thing, and then it jacks at the bottom, so that when we're mixing, it's coming out there and mixing right away with your cement slurry.
So you have a big 55-gallon drum, which I don't know where it is. Over here. So you'll have somebody adding the cement, and one guy, or one person holding the mixer, and you kind of keep it on the bottom, and it just, after, I don't know, it takes maybe 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes of stirring and adding cement, a little more cement and foam until you get to about, 3/4 of the way to the top.
And then you dump it in these forms.
Fill the forms, you fill it, you smooth the tops. You check the foam, there is a little details
Yeah.
we'll maybe get into.
Yeah, you guys are gonna do all this later, honestly. It's
Yes.
just
I don't want
for
to
you get
over
overview.
The foams are pieced together with those black things.
Yeah, so you got little nails, you got the
So you
nails
just like
and
fold
these,
them, nail them.
you know, kind of the ice cube tray sort of thing where you can make 2 footers.
blocks,
Like
you could do
bacon
1
muffins.
foot block,
Yeah.
you could do 4 inches wide, you could do 6 inches, 8
Yeah.
inches.
Oh, by the way, I brought you guys more plastic things, so you can do the 4-inch.
Cool.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
And they're warm.
You can also make
Just
your own
put a
if you
nail
guys
through
wanted
it.
to. I made my own out of just like 2x6s or 2x8s, and then you can make your own little metal slats between it. And it's a lot cheaper. These are like $600 or like $500 a piece. These guys got a great deal because they recycled them from another workshop.
Yeah, we were working with 2, you know, only 2 forms, and that was a lot of challenge because, you know, you can go through a lot of blocks in a day, especially if you have a lot of people out here working. So it's nice to, you know, you'll see that it's nice to be able to make a whole bunch at once because just getting this going, getting it right, cleaning it out is, you know, a fair amount of work, warming up the water in this colder weather.
When did you guys pour these too, Jason?
Yesterday.
Oh, okay, they're already this dry.
Yeah, and this is 120 of those 1 foots, and it's 21 bags of the, you know, Portland cement.
You did 2-foot bricks too, though, right?
Yeah, I know. I just mean
Oh.
like, I
Oh, I
mean,
get
if you
you.
only did 2 foot, it would be what, 60 2-foot blocks.
Yeah. I think we're gonna do 2-foot the rest of the time.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
what I
because
figured.
for the Eden Arch, you can use 2-foot blocks instead of the 1-footers, which is why it goes up also so fast.
You said you make your own forms.
Yeah, you can make your own.
How do you do it?
You can do 2x6s. You can either do a 1 foot by like a 2x6 or something, like an 8-foot one, and just make like single blocks. And you can get like a piece of metal and use it as like a slicer, you know,
Once it's
before it
like
dries.
halfway.
Yeah, once you can break the sides, and you can just slice it. Or you can make longer ones and get bigger pieces of metal and make your slats like that. You know, 2x6s on the side. I can draw it out for you later.
Am I right in
Show you some
thinking it's
videos.
like a 3-day process from the time you pour it, let it cure before you break the molds up?
You can do it 24 hours.
Okay. It's because it's so cold recently, they've been taking longer than usual. But when it was warm in like October, it was 1 day.
Yeah, but ideally it does cure a little.
Yeah. And they get
little
harder
slower.
week after week. They keep getting harder. You notice they're like a little stiffer.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I would think as many pours as we can do. If you can do them every day, we'll do that. But it's probably every other day, I'm assuming, because of the cold.
To be
I'm
honest,
just-
Yeah.
it takes longer to clean all this than it does to pour. We
Yeah.
can do it in like an hour and 40.
Well, with this
pour,
crew, though, if you have a lot of people, it's a lot faster.
Okay, yeah.
'cause we'll get several stations.
Yeah, we can do
with
that.
that.
That's fine.
So do you like measure out the foam? And
Yeah, 16 ounce per 5 gallons of soap to water.
You can test it. We have a little thing to weigh it. You want a certain consistency.
I'll write all this down for you guys too, and you can take a picture.
But what about foam to cement?
It's 40 gallons essentially. So it'll be a ratio as you're filling up the barrel. You'll know where to stop with the line because it makes exactly 50 gallons for that exact formula. You know what I mean? Like 1 bag of cement, 94 pound, 6 gallons of water, and then the rest foam up to 45 to 50 gallons. That's the ratio. So it's like 40 gallons.
How many gallons fits in these drums?
These
You
are-
do it in one of these drums.
These are like 55, 60 gallons to the top. So there's a 50 gallon mark.
Okay.
Yeah. So we usually do 40. We usually do 45 because it's a little bit of a stronger block. You know? You oil the forms so that the cement doesn't stick when you pour it. So when we clean everything, we'll oil them too.
Any questions?
And how do you get the cement off when cleaning it?
Well, because you put the oil on, you just scrape it off.
Yeah, we
It's
got
not too
little
hard.
spatulas.
And brooms. You know?
Well, if there aren't any other burning questions, maybe we walk over the arch.
Yeah, let's see the arch.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Hanumate Namah Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Hanumate Namah Jaya Hanuman Gyan गुण सगर जय कपिस्ति हूँ लोक उजागर रामदूत तुलित बदल दमान जानी पुत्र पावन सुतमा श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम ओम हनुमते नमः महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवर सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन बिरासु बेसा घनन कुंदव कुंचित कैसा जय जय हनुमान भक्त हृदय वास श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय बजरंग बाली राम लखन सीता साहित हृदय बसाहु सुरभूप संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय श्री राम जय जय राम ओम हनुमते नमः श्री राम जय जय राम
वासुदेवाय
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om